All right. Good morning, everybody. I wanted to jump back on here with a bit of a pop-up live today, I guess they call it, and I had a chance to get in front of Steve Rozenberg and taking a bit of time out of his trip to Honolulu to jump
Busy
on.
day. It's a busy day, Bob. I got a lot of shit going on, man.
I mean, it must be rough. I mean, it must be rough. I got to tell you. Uh,
I got a lot of stuff on my agenda today, so
Well, glad you could make time. Glad you could make time. You guys have heard me mention Steve before. In fact, a lot on my live videos, and I connected with Steve a few months back. Saw him speak a couple of years ago at an event, and I guess it was Bubba Hogan that said you guys need to just know each other. And once that happened, it was kind of we were off to the races in saying, "Hey, I think there's some synergy here. Maybe we should do some collaboration. I think I could help you. You could probably help me." And that's all it took, and we've been having a blast. So I'll be going down to Steve's on in the third week of May or so to attend his ground school event with his one-on-one coaching clients, and hoping to pour in a little bit there. But Steve, I just want to get on today and just shoot the shit and see how you're doing, and let people know a little bit more about you.
yeah, man, dude, it's good to see you. And this is becoming a great ride. I'll say, the adventure journey with you and Bubba and all the other amazing Richard and all the amazing guys that we get to meet along the journey, the clients, and just it becomes what I like is it becomes a friendship,
Yeah,
like more so like
yeah,
I think that at the end of the day we're all on a journey,
right.
and you can wake up every day and be fucking pissed and bitching and moaning, or you can wake up and go, man, fuck, I woke up today, like,
I,
wow, like I actually like this is I get another shot at it, and I just think a lot of times we always focus on the wrong stuff. Like, when and listen, as well as I do, we talk to business owners, entrepreneurs, contractors, and sadly, we get caught up in the drama and the bullshit and the headache. We get in our own heads, and I'm like, is this why you're doing this? Like, are you doing this to bitch every day? Are you doing this to tell me about the problems? And they're like, well, no, I'm doing this to have a better life. And I'm like, well, how's that working for you? And they're like, it's not. I'm like, well, no shit. Like why? Like you're unhappy, you're miserable, you're stressed. Like, why are you doing this? Like, there is another way to do this. And listen, I'm not. I know we don't ride unicorns over a rainbow every day and live in this fantasy land, but I think at some point we got to really ask ourselves, like, do I enjoy what I do? Like, do I enjoy waking up every day and going, like, man, how lucky am I? First of all, how lucky am I that I get to wake up? Right? That just right there
Yeah,
the core, but more so like, how lucky am I that I get to do what I love to do? I tell people, like, we tend to create our own misery and then we bitch about it. It's like, you created this fucking thing that you have here. Like, if your employees are bitching at you and your customers hate you and this, I'm like, you created that. So congratulations. I mean,
yeah.
listen, that's
You get to
that's the
own it.
world according to Steve. I know it's not always the reality, but I think that's a lot of people's reality.
Well, when I do my live every morning, I always tell people check in, scale of 1 to 10, how you doing? How could you not be like an 8 or a 9 every day, right? Just because, hey, I know you've got stuff going on, right? And things are hard, life's hard, right? But you're drawing a breath, and I always say you're on the right side of the grass. So it's just another area
Yeah.
where you and I are aligned. Um, but take a minute and talk to these guys and the people that'll see this on the rewind about, as I mentioned your name, I talk about the daily sales accelerator, I talk about what you're doing. Take a minute and just talk about what you do, who you are, what you do, and then if you have time, just talk about this daily sales accelerator that I've been preaching to these guys.
Yeah, look, I think at the end of the day, let me just say this for to start. I think whatever we do in life, right, as entrepreneurs, right, we're doing this, whether this is roofing or contracting or building ponds or cutting grass or landscape design, we do this to have a better life, right? That's all it is, right? I don't give a shit what you do in life. You're doing this job to have a better life, to go create memories with your family. And I think the challenge is we get caught up in this. and we
Yeah.
forget why we're doing this, and we never create the memories with our families. Our kids don't know us. We don't know what a gym looks like. We're so stressed, we're tired, we're working days, we're working nights. Everyone's complaining to us, and they're like, is this what you wanted? Like, was this the life you designed, or did you just let it get away from you? And I think that, and I'm a big believer of this. When my background, I'm an airline pilot. That's why I'm in Honolulu, Hawaii right now. So I do this. So I fly a Boeing 777 for United Airlines. Been doing it for 30 years, or almost 30 years. Um, and when I got furloughed during 9/11, I had to understand that the belief that I had of being a pilot, the identity that I had of being someone who had a job, that all went away the day I got furloughed. So I was not that person anymore. And I really didn't know who I was. I had to sell myself on the concept and the idea of me having a new identity. So I had to basically bullshit myself and go like, dude, you're a different person. I didn't believe it. I didn't think it. So at some point I had to make a decision. And the decision that I had to make is I had to kill off one of my identities, one of my future identities. So the identity of me having a shitty life, always being nervous, always being afraid of money, always never having enough, always being, we'll just, say it like it is, jealous of other people that have this life, that
Sure.
have the life that I wanted.
Yeah.
I could kill off that life, or I could kill off the life of having an abundance, making as much money as I wanted, not giving a shit about everybody else, and just being happy and saying, I'm doing this because of me. So I had to make a decision as to who do I want to be moving forward. Like I was at a we'll say a crossroad. And I was like, you know what? That life doesn't serve me anymore. I'm
Yeah.
going this way. Because that
Yeah.
was the old me. And
Right.
so what I've learned is the journey of being a business owner and an entrepreneur and all the stuff that we do, it's all about life lessons. It's like I say it's brick by brick, right? Like you you never think about the last brick. That's not what made you successful, right? If being me
Right.
being a pilot, flying a Boeing 777 didn't make me a great pilot. If I never learned to fly a Cessna 152 back in 1991, and I didn't learn the basics of flying, I would
Right.
never be the pilot that I am today. So our journey of who we are is brick by brick. And
Yeah.
so what my going back to your question, like what I do in this sales training, some people say like, well, I don't do sales. Well, I disagree. You do sales. As a matter of fact, you sold yourself that you're a shitty salesperson. So congratulations. You did the ultimate sale. You sold yourself that you suck at something because you're assuming sales has to do with money. I never once said it has to do with money. Sales is basically selling your vision, your concept, your idea. When you're trying to convince your wife that you want Italian and she wants Mexican, you are selling her or she is selling you. If you want to convince your kids to clean their room, you are selling them or they are selling you. When you have employees and you're trying to get them to buy your vision, you're selling your vision. Are they going to buy it? Right? Your
Right.
customers, your product, your service, your concept or idea. So everything we do, Bob, in life, everything we do, we are selling. And if you don't believe it, you're the one who's fucking getting sold. And basically, you are selling them on why they need you, or they are selling you on why they don't. So the daily sales training that I do is, you know, I didn't go up in the plane one time, take one lesson and go, I'm good. I'm good to go. I think I got this now. Right?
Perfect.
When everything we do in life is about repetition. I go to the gym every day. I didn't go to the gym when I was 19 years old and go like, done, check, I'm good to go. Right? When you were
Right.
training for, I think you were in an Ironman, weren't you at one time in your
But
life?
I don't know what tipped you off, but I mean, I try to keep it low key, but
I
sometimes it gets
I
out.
know you like you're famous.
You're right, though. You sign up for that race. The easiest thing that you do is sign up and write the check. Then the work starts.
Yeah.
And I've had guys tell me, guys that work for me too, and I say, hey, we need to be strong in sales. Well, I'm not in sales. I'm in project management. You are in sales. Every single day you're in sales when you talk to a homeowner, when you talk to a sub, when you deal with a vendor, anything. You're in sales all day long. And it wasn't until I really started working on it that I realized just how much I didn't know. My dad's on here watching us, and you'll have to say hello, but he's on here, and we've got a lot of funny stories about us just kicking around and doing sales together. And we just had a ball on some of the things that people would say to us and that we would say to them. And I look back on it now and say, man, if I'd had the training, I'd have been dangerous. And all kidding aside, I think about some of the opportunities maybe that I missed on or that we missed on because I didn't know how to close, or I didn't know how to ask for the sale, or peel back the onion, or ask those open-ended questions.
Yeah.
And that's all the stuff that, and if you guys are watching this on the rewind, you guys that are here, what we're doing inside the daily sales accelerator, inside Steve's program, is just doing some of that daily heavy lifting, really, the training,
It's
the working.
reps.
Yeah, the reps. And I heard a podcast by Ed Milet yesterday. I don't know if you listened to him, but he was talking all about the reps and all about how he used a few people, for example. Steph Curry still shoots 500 shots a day. Tiger Woods at his prime, when he was Tiger Woods, was hitting 1,000 golf balls a day. So these guys are at the top of their game, right? And we can't find 10 minutes to do a sales role play. So
yeah, and here's the thing, man, is look, we all have the natural skill sets, right? Most of us have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So, but by definition, we all have the anatomy to be a good salesperson. And here's what I tell people: like, if I just said a bunch of words, blue, salad, light, beach, mountain, like that doesn't mean anything. But if I put those together in a format called a sentence, well, then it means something. And I can say something that is going to get you, that's going to invoke what? It's going to invoke motion. And when it invokes emotion, now that emotion is going to cause you to take some sort of action. So if I say, Bob, man, you're fucking ugly. Like, dude, you need a fucking haircut. That's going to cause an emotion, and that's going to cause you to go take some action. So if I'm going to say a bunch of words, why wouldn't I, if I make my living off of the words that come out of my mouth, why wouldn't I try to say them in the best format as possible to get me the highest return for every word that I say, which is what we call a script. People are like, I don't like scripts. I'm like, because you fucking suck at them, because you don't practice, because you're not the Steph Curry that's doing 500 a day. That's why you don't like them. So just say you suck at it and it's not a priority. Don't say you don't like them. And so that's another topic. But anyways, but my thing is like, if you're going to say words every day anyways, why wouldn't you want to put them in the best format to get you the highest return per word, which is called a paycheck or money or revenue coming into your business? Because what sales is really just invoking emotion, and you're persuading someone to do something that they didn't know they could do before. So listen, if you're a contractor and somebody has a hole in their roof and they call you, they have a problem, you have a solution. You have shingles and you have plywood and you have some hammers, and you're like, I have a solution to your problem.
Right.
If they don't buy from you, it's because of you. There's something that you said that caused them to go, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't want you on my roof. So they still, when you walk away, you're like, oh, this guy doesn't fucking understand the value. But they still have the problem. They're going to get someone to solve that problem.
Yep.
So the challenge we have, hey, Fred, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I didn't know this pops up. This is cool. Bubba.
That's a new trick I learned.
Wow, look at you.
I'm going, baby.
You are, man. You're swinging for the fences. It's kind of like when you were in Clearwater, Florida, and you did the Iron Man.
This is my favorite comment here. Luke stuck up for me.
There we go. Thank you, Lucas. All right. Oh, he's talking about you. Never mind.
Right.
Yeah. No, Bubba, I am actually able to sleep, but Daniela, my assistant, likes to, I think when I upset her, she puts things on my calendar at 2, 3 in the morning. So, but and so that's the thing. So what is sales? Sales is just a transfer of emotions. That's all it is. And I think the challenge that people have in sales is they go, well, I'm not a salesperson. I'm like, you buy things, you get sold. So you can, and again, either the salesperson is selling you or not selling. So sales is just the repetition of doing it together. It's like going to the gym and you're doing shit backwards, and you're like, What the fuck is that guy doing? He's on the treadmill with his doing a handstand. Like, you've got the wrong idea, but you're doing it in the wrong sequence of events. Like, that's not what that is for. Many times we have a great product, right? We think that we're the best architect of what we do, but we don't know how to convey that emotion to people. So what the daily sales accelerator is, you're putting in the reps. I've got you, Bubba, right? We've got Richard. We're all experts in what we do. And it's just a matter of putting in the reps. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be the most consistent. It's not perfection, it's persistency that wins. And so the people that are going to make the most money are the ones who shoot the 500 shots a day, the ones who come to the daily sales training and go, you know what? I just need to put the reps in. That's all I need to do.
Yeah.
And the more you put those reps in, the more you're going to realize, wow, Bob got lucky. Look how lucky Bob is. Bob got lucky because man, his revenue just went through the roof. And you're like, lucky? Dude, I've been busting my ass to make this work. And so I think that's the challenge of people. They think there's an easy button, and there isn't, man. There's no freaking easy button to success. Success is built one day at a time, one fucking phone call, one grind. That is what we do. That is the life we chose. That is the identity that we decided. Now, it doesn't always have to be you. You can have what's called employees. Those employees can do it. But a business runs 24/7. It should never shut down. If you say, well, I need weekends off, that means you have a job. You don't own a business, because the business should keep running. At some point, that's what it should be built to be.
Yeah, I was talking on we were on my live the other day, and I said, guys, there's 104 weekend days in a year. What would happen if you just grabbed one of them or parts of both? Where would you be in a year? And it was funny. Wendy will probably give me a hard time for this, but she has a Facebook group for women and starting to do her thing, and she got up the courage to do her first live, right? And she said, I think I'll do it once a week, and so you know me, right? Got to move that goalpost. I said, what if you did that every day? And think about that for a minute when we go back and talk about reps. So at the end of a year, you'll either have 52 or 365 reps. It literally take you 6 years to get to roughly to where you would be in a year. And it occurred to me, I didn't say that part to her, but she'll probably watch this and realize that. I hope she does it. But guys, think about it. I'm going and I like this stuff. I do this stuff. It comes natural to me to get on video and talk on the mic. But I've had people say to me, Bob, in the 112 days in a row that you've gone live in the morning and brought some content, you've gotten better at it. I can see it. So that means something to me. And it means that, guys, if you do the reps, you're going to get better. You may not see it overnight. It's like if you got 20 pounds to lose, it took you a while to get there. It might take you a while to fix it. So working on the daily sales stuff, working on it, the sales stuff daily, and on that call with Steve and myself and Bubba Hogan and Richard Nordheim is going to fast track. It's going to take that schedule of time, the time it takes to get good at something, and compress it.
Yeah. And it's funny, if we go into the mechanics of being a good salesperson, right? You don't have to be the best, you just have to be the best known, right? McDonald's, if anything, has proven that. They don't make a great hamburger, but you're not going to outmark McDonald's. You're not going to put them out of business because they're a better marketing machine. When it comes to doing the details, when it comes to being a good salesperson, so you have to understand that to be a good salesperson means look, some people go like, he's a natural born salesperson. Well, that's fucking stupid. No one's born a good anything except they can eat, sleep, and shit. Those are the things we're good at when we're born. Everything else is a learned skill. So based on that, you are either going to become a good leader, a good salesperson, based on your reading, your education, and the reps that you put in. So, like, for example, objection handling. Who here on this call, Zoom, whatever the fuck we're on right now, who here gets the same objection all the time? Like, oh man, people always complain about price. People always tell me it's not a good time. I'm like, if you're always getting that same objection, there is something that you are saying or something that you are not saying that is driving people to that objection. Now, the question is it's not whether they're going to say it. There's two things that have to happen. Number one, if they say it, and we know statistically they will because there's something you are saying that is causing that. What is it that you are saying as an objection handler to overcome that? So, for example, the way that you know your date of birth, the way that you know your last name, the
Yeah.
way that you know your city that you were born in, those things are the key elements to being object. Like, I'm sorry, I'm looking at that mustache comment. Thank you, by the way. When it comes to objection handling, you need to know how to overcome objections the way you know your birth date, the way you know your last name, the way that is how good you have to be at your objection handlers. Because if you don't know it like that, it's not in your subconscious and you're thinking about what you're going to say. Now, the other thing is if you always get someone to say, like, wow, this is a large investment to redo my house, this is a lot of money, right? This is expensive. I wasn't planning on doing this. You may want to put that into your script before, like, hey, you may be thinking this is going to be a large investment in your house. Let me explain to you why this makes a lot of sense to do this now versus later. So you've already pre-handled the objection before it became an objection. So they're going to go, oh, wow, I didn't think about it that way. That's a good way to think about it. So you've stripped away the objection before it ever came. Going to the daily sales accelerator, putting in the reps, it's you're doing it because it becomes in your subconscious. You're just answering these things all the time because that's what we practice. It's kind of like tying your shoe. If I were to walk you through tying your shoe, it's like you're going to take one string, you're going to make a loop. You're going to take that rabbit ear, you're going to put it in the other hole. You're going to have two rabbit ears. You're going to pull them out. You're going to make sure they're even. But when it comes to tying your shoe, you don't even think about it. It's just natural. So
Right.
the thing is you've got to make something that is unnatural natural. And that is what makes a successful salesperson in anything that you do. And I think that's where people struggle is they don't practice.
Yeah. One of the things that that I've enjoyed seeing you do, and I've been to it, come down to Houston and gone through it, is your 2-day takeoff event, and you do that monthly. Can you tell the
Yeah.
people that are watching, like, what's involved in that and who should come?
Look, I have entrepreneurs, business owners, salespeople, parents. They bring their kids. It's what I do there is, and I tell people, listen, I'm not going to guarantee anything. The one thing I will guarantee, the only thing I will guarantee is you will walk out of there a different person than you walked in. That's the only thing I guarantee. You're going to walk different. You're going to talk different. You're going to act different. You're going to be a different person because you're going to think differently. So when you come to Houston, listen, I'm not going to teach you how to hammer a nail. I'm not going to teach you how to do the basics. You already know that stuff. I'm going to start thinking of, okay, who are you as a person? What does your life look like when this business is built out? Do we have the foundation of who you are, of your business? It's kind of like a house. You don't build a house without a foundation. You have to put a foundation down first, and then you build the house. How is that any different than your life, than your business? In your business, you need accounting. I'm sorry, you need marketing, you need sales, you need operations, you need finance, you need IT, and you need leadership. You have 6 points to your foundation of your business. Now, depending on the size of the building, is the deeper the foundation. You don't put a skyscraper on a 6-inch foundation because it won't last. If you want to build a skyscraper of a business, you need to have a pretty big foundation built. That's called an organization chart. So at the 2-day event, we start building this. And what date is the building built? Like, when is it completed? When is your business built and completed to where it's running on its own without you? Like when someone's building a big building, they don't go, well, I think in 5 or 10 years, we're going to have this built. We're not really sure. We got a good gut feeling. There's a specific date and time that business is going to be built out. How is that any different than you? So the first thing we do is we build out your business to make sure you have a strong foundation, you have the right people in place, and more importantly, are you even the right person to be the leader of that company? Are you the leader that people are going to want to follow with the vision, right? So that's
Right.
the morning of day one. That's half of day one. The next half is we go through marketing. all the marketing mistakes that people are making that are putting them out of business, that are making them obsolete and insignificant because you are sharing the market. It's called market share. You're sharing the market with other people. If you don't even know who your target client is, you don't even know who you're hunting. So if you have no idea who the right person you should be going after because you don't even know who the right person is. So we identify who is your target client, how do we grade them, how do we create an unstoppable referral program to get your clients to not only keep buying from you, but to refer you to other people. That's day one. Day one is, I mean, it is a fire hose. Day two is even more.
Yeah.
Day two is me getting down and dirty with sales and communication. This is where the rubber meets the road to how you actually make your business make money. You can have all the fancy shit in the world, but if you're not ringing the cash register, does it matter? You're going out of business if not. So,
Yeah.
how do you make this business make money to give you the life that you want to go create memories? So, we go through neurolinguistic programming. I go through disc profiling. I go through objection handling. I give you my 12-step sales process that, yes, it actually freaking works. A follow-up system. These are all the things that we do on day two to make you successful. And then at the end of the day two, I show you how to hire a rock star salesperson. What is the disc profile of that barracuda closer that says, I'm going to walk through that freaking wall every day for you, Bob, because I believe in you. And I'm going to make, I want to make, $500,000 this year so you can make 5 million. That's the person that you want that's out there hunting for you. You got to give them the right target to hunt. So day one is mindset, leadership, foundation, structure. Then it's marketing, right? Understanding your target, grading your clients A through D, understanding who you're going after, what problem are you solving? And then day two is all about becoming a master communicator. So whether it's to your customers, whether it's to your employees, your vendors, your family, your spouse, how do you become a master communicator so that you can get what you want when you want at the highest price possible? That is what I teach in my 2-day.
Love it. Perfect. I love your passion, man. There's nothing like you just go hard in the paint. And I like that about you. I think we're both the kind of guys that go 3 rows deep in the bleachers for a loose ball. And we don't ask, how fast you want to go. We're just going to go.
Yeah.
I hear people ask you, I've been around you a bit now, and I'll ask this question just because I enjoy your answer. You're obviously a very successful real estate professional and now a successful coach and performance coach and all that stuff. Why do you still fly planes?
Well, I'm in Honolulu, Hawaii right now. I'm going to go walk on the beach in a little bit and head to the gym. Last night I was with some good friends of mine, Tristan and Kamahoy. They have a show on HGTV. And I was hanging out having dinner at their house last night. I do this because I love it, man. I freaking love, as a little kid, the only thing that I wanted to do was be a pilot. I wanted to fly planes. At 25, I became the second youngest person hired by Continental Airlines, which is now United Airlines. I love what I do.
Yeah.
And so, where does it say that because you have a certain amount of success or money in the bank or whatever bullshit we want to quantify, that we stop doing what we love doing? Like, I truly love, I mean, I fly all over the world. I go to Tokyo, Japan. I go to Buenos Aires. I go to London. I do all these things. Why do I have to stop doing it just because I've had success in one arena? I love taking off out of Houston, Texas, flying for 8 hours, landing in Honolulu, Hawaii, and going, fuck, they just paid me a lot of money to fly a $250 million aircraft with 350 of my closest friends to a new destination. They're creating memories with their families. They're doing whatever they're doing. Going to Tokyo. I love it, man. I have friends all over the world. On almost every layover, I meet up with someone that I know. We go have drinks. You know what I mean? You just hang out because life is about the experiences. That's what it's about. It's not the money. It's not this. It's the journey. It's like a shark, right? A shark doesn't swim to a destination and go, I'm good. It swims. That's what it does. And I think
Right.
that's us as humans. I think that's what we do. We swim. That's what we do. Our journey. I just get a fucking front row seat of the best office view in the world, watching the world go by, going, dude, this is on tomorrow morning. For those of you that follow me on social media, you know, I get some amazing sunrises, right? Nothing better than Pacific Ocean seeing the best sunrise come up. That's what it's about, man. To me, that's what this is all about.
Yeah. I know what else it's about for you too, because it's kind of how I started, which was just like giving of my time and talking with
Yeah.
people and not worrying so much about the money. And when I met you, and it wasn't but a few days later, my phone blinged and you're like, hey man, how are things going? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm going to Malaysia. Like, oh, like who's flying the fucking plane, right? Pay attention, right? But I've seen you give unconditionally and without worry about a dollar bill attached to it. Talk to me about that for a minute, because it's really one of your core principles, I think.
Yeah, my the core value of who I am as a person is to always do the right thing without personal gain, right? I always think like, why are we doing? Listen, there's a lot of givers and takers in the world, and I'm sure every single one of us that's here has been
Yeah,
taken advantage of or ripped off or whatever. Look, and those are takers, right? And those takers, you're not going to stop them. They're going to go take from someone else in the future. And I
right.
think sometimes we just need somebody to believe in us and somebody to just kind of give a shit about us. And so I say that because I think at some point somebody has to give back in life, right? And somebody says like, "Oh man, Steve, like they took advantage of you because they came to your event and you gave them free tickets." I'm like, you know what? If it helps them, then that's all I want, man. I don't. You know what? I don't need to hit a home run on every single person. If I help them and it gives them a different perspective in life, or you and I create a friendship, to me, it's all about the relationships and friendships.
Yeah,
That's one of the reasons why I do what I do and I help so many people. People are always like, well, what's your angle? I'm like, dude, I don't have an angle. Like I make enough money. I'm pretty good, right? As an airline pilot, I sold a business. I'm pretty good, right? Again, don't get me wrong. Everyone loves money. I'd be stupid saying I don't. I love money. I love
yeah,
what money gives me. I love the tools that I can use, but it doesn't drive me. It
yeah,
doesn't. And I just think I wish more people actually did that than people that say it and don't do it. And so, at my 2-day events, what I love is I get people flying in from all over the country, whether they're like Rachel was saying, you don't need to be a business owner to come. Do you want to have a better life? That's my question. If you want to have a better life, then come. If 2 days is too much to ask for you to make a better life, you got bigger fucking problems. Then I can't help you, because I think at the end of the day, if you're always suspicious of what someone's going to take from you, this and that, I'm like, you were either very badly scarred or you don't understand the ability to have an abundant life. And I think
yeah,
that's where people mess up is they misunderstand why they're here. They've been taken advantage of, and I'm not saying it's right. They've been taken advantage of so many times that they keep thinking like, who else is going to rip me off? But not everyone is out there doing that, right?
yeah.
So just something to think about. That's why I do it.
Yeah, no, good stuff, man. And I think that I'm looking forward to more collaboration and just the synergy with you. And I appreciate you coming on and wanting to chat today. And let me see, triple or double is good. Yeah, Bubba. Let me see. Bubba's a few comments on here. Triple or double are good. No home run always needed. Yeah, good
That's
point.
right.
Right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Bubba also said, "I love the event so much and get so much. I attend all the time." And
Yeah.
when I was first there, I'm like, "Oh, this is something that you do once." But then I looked behind me, and there were 3 or 4 people that had been there before. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And Rachel's on here. Rachel attends my live every morning, and I'll get you some info on this, Rachel. I'll get you connected with Steve. And no, you don't have to own your own business to go
Yeah.
to it.
Your
It's
life is a business, the business of you. It's like who do you want to be? It's kind of like saying like, well, I don't like Bubba, said like, well, I don't want to swing the baseball bat until I hit the home run. But it's like you realize you're not going to hit the home run, and geez, so like if you want to have a better life, you've got to start hanging around with people that have the life that you want. Otherwise, you're never going to have that life. It's like when people say like, I will start thinking like a $10 million business owner when I build a $10 million business. It's like, you realize you'll never build the $10 million business until you start becoming that person first. You've got to think like it, walk like it, talk like it. You will never become a successful person if you don't become that person first. It's kind of like going to sleep. You have to act like you're asleep first to actually go to sleep. You have
Right.
to act like a successful business person to be successful. Right. And so
Yeah.
that's the challenge we all say.
Yeah. Bubba says hit by pitch gets a potential run. Yeah.
Bob, it sounds like Bubba just went to a baseball game recently.
I think he did. He was with the Durham Bulls game with Richard the
I
other night.
know.
Yeah, guys, I would
Yeah.
say if you're thinking about attending, hop down there. I think that I think the dynamic's going to change a little bit because we've been talking about getting myself and Richard and Bubba at most of those in the future if we can, which means a bit of travel for us. But I'm down just to be in the room and get excited about being around people who want to get to the next level. And as I say on in my group, where everybody's kind of pulling on the same end of the rope and everybody wants you to win. So, yeah, Steve.
Look, man. I have learned in life there is enough abundance.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, well, Bob's a coach. Why are you doing something, Bob? I'm like, do you think there's not enough success for all of us to have? Like, are you stupid? Like, it's like saying like, well, Bob took a bucket of water out of the ocean. So are we all going to have water now? I'm like, are you trying to? And this is the thing I tell people, like, are you really doing this to help people? Or are you doing this for selfish reasons? If you really, like I tell people, like, if you were like Bob and I and Bubba and Richard, and if you really truly are trying to help people, what does it matter if they are helping people? So you have, so like I tell people, so what you're saying is you have an ulterior motive. You're not being honest, because Bob and I don't have a problem with it, right? And I know a ton of other people, Tom Reber, I know a bunch of people, like, I don't have a problem with any of that stuff. To me, it's just abundance. If I talk to someone and they're like, oh, so and so doesn't want you doing this because you're a business coach, I'm like, well, that's a him problem. I don't give a shit. I mean, to me, it's like, if I can help someone, I'm going to help someone. I don't need to be paid to help someone. I can do it for free, and that's my prerogative. But when people say that, I'm like, what you're really saying is that's your problem, is what you're really trying to say. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, kind of. So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Their own limited mindset.
Exactly.
I've had people say the same thing. Oh, why would you have Steve Rozenberg come speak at your event? He's a coach. I'm like, because I want to have a great event. Steve's a great dude, and we're working together, and it's all good,
It's just the life of abundance, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, and it worked out great, and we're both doing well as a result. So, and I appreciate the time. This went way longer than I thought. I know you got a great day ahead in Honolulu. I saw you always cool when you're going across the bodies of water or whatever.
Crossing the pond. I leave tonight. Yep. Yeah. I got a big day of sun. I got a lot of sun. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got to hit the gym. I got a busy day, man. I got a lot of shit to do.
Well, man, I know that you joke, but I know you've earned it, and I appreciate it. And I want to thank you for how you pouring into me and in our group as well. Selflessly.
Absolutely, man.
Continue that.
We all win together, brother. We all win together. That's for sure.
Good deal. Guys, I'll put more links in there. Steve, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. This was a great little pop-up live. Thanks for coming. You guys that are watching it on the rewind, put a fist pump in there if you enjoyed it. If you need a link or you want to get a hold of Steve or myself, just reach out. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
Bye.